Have you ever lost something so precious, your world seemed to crumble without it? The question hangs in the air, echoing through the corridors of your mind. Picture this. The sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of twilight. The orange glow of the day surrenders to the indigo blanket of the night. The world around you is dimming, and the shadows grow longer, deeper, swallowing the remnants of daylight. And there, amidst the encroaching darkness, your heart races, pounding in your chest like a frantic drumbeat. Imagine yourself wandering through the shadows, the world around you hushed as if holding its breath. Every rustling leaf, every whispering wind, every crunching pebble under your feet seems amplified, echoing through the silence. You call out a name, her name, your voice piercing the stillness, but only silence answers back. It's as if your words are swallowed by the shadows, lost in the labyrinth of the night. Panic begins to tighten its grip, a chilling sensation that creeps up your spine, sending shivers through your body. It's the kind of fear that turns your blood cold, the kind of fear that a child feels when they're lost. Lost in a labyrinth of uncertainty, where every path looks the same, every turn leads to another dead end, every step takes you further into the maze. Your desperation fuels each step you take, driving you forward on this frantic quest. It's no ordinary journey, but a quest for something, or rather someone, who completes your world, someone whose absence makes the world feel hollow, whose memory echoes through the silence, whose name is the only word you can muster amidst the panic. And then, in the deafening silence, the labyrinth of uncertainty grows. It expands, its walls towering over you, its paths winding into the darkness. The world seems to close in, and the labyrinth becomes your universe. But amidst the shadows, the panic, and the fear, a desperate quest has begun. A quest that will lead you through the labyrinth, through the uncertainty, and hopefully, to a reunion. In the deafening silence, the labyrinth of uncertainty grew. A desperate quest had begun. What would you do if your lifeline was ripped away from your grasp? The question rings in the air, a silent echo that reverberates in the hollow chambers of a heart stricken with fear. Imagine your world, once vibrant with color and life, suddenly plunged into an abyss of uncertainty. The familiarity of existence dissolves into a chaotic whirl of confusion, the world spinning off its axis. Everything you hold dear, everything that makes you, vanishes into the shadows. The comfort of familiarity, the warmth of companionship, all snuffed out in an instant, leaving you alone in the labyrinth of the unknown. This is the terrifying reality I found myself in, as I wandered through the dimming twilight. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat a frantic drum calling out for the one person who completed my world. The one person whose absence turned my universe into a desolate wasteland. Every step, every breath, every heartbeat was fueled by desperation. Desperation, that cruel master, that relentless driver pushing me onward. It was a frantic quest, akin to a treasure hunt. But this was no glittering gold or sparkling gem that I sought. This treasure was far more precious, far more vital. It was the other half of my soul, the one who brought meaning to my existence, the one who made me whole. In the eerie silence that permeated the twilight, my voice rang out, calling her name. But only the deafening silence answered, a chilling reminder of my solitude. Each unanswered call, each echoless whisper, was a gut-wrenching testament to my isolation. My journey through the labyrinth of uncertainty was not a leisurely stroll through a rose garden. It was a frantic race against time, a mad dash through the shadows, a desperate search for the missing piece of my world. The one person whose absence transformed my life into a tortuous maze of uncertainty. Each echoless call, a painful reminder of my solitary journey. Can silence truly be deafening? In my quest, it was the loudest sound. The world around me transformed into an echoing chamber of nothingness, a haunting stillness that seemed to stretch into eternity. Each footstep was an intrusion, a ripple in a sea of silence that spread out, bouncing back from unseen walls. The quiet was an entity, a presence that seemed to breathe with me, shadowing my every move. Have you ever felt such silence? A silence so profound that it could drown out the thunderous beat of your own heart. a silence so deep it seemed to swallow the very air around you. It was a silence that amplified my fear, turning each whisper of a thought into a shout, each flicker of a shadow into a monstrous figure. The loneliness of my journey was a weight, a shroud that threatened to smother me. It was an icy grip that squeezed my heart, a constant reminder of the gaping void at my side. The silence was a chilling mirror, reflecting back my solitude, my desperation. It was a cold wind that blew through the empty corridors of my heart, whispering her name in a voice only I could hear. But in this haunting stillness, my senses were heightened, my perception sharpened. I felt the cool earth beneath my feet, heard the distant hoot of an owl, smelled the sweet scent of night-blooming flowers. Each sensation was a beacon in the darkness, a glimmer of hope in the vast expanse of uncertainty. In the heart of the labyrinth, I realized that silence wasn't just a void, it was a canvas. It was a blank space where I could paint my fears, my hopes, my dreams. It was a stage where I could perform my soliloquy, my plea for a reunion. It was a cathedral where I could whisper my prayers, where I could let my words drift up, lost in the infinite. In the heart of the labyrinth, surrounded by silence, prayer was my only solace. The silence was no longer my enemy. It was my ally, my companion in this journey, my echo in the void. And in this haunting stillness, I found a strange sort of peace, a quiet strength that fueled my quest, that drove me forward, towards the unknown. Would your heart's plea reach the one you seek in the midst of despair? I found myself asking this question as the shadows deepened around me. In that moment of solitude, I realized that my only companion was my heartbeat, pulsating with an urgent rhythm of hope and fear. I closed my eyes, my thoughts reaching out to her in the vast expanse of uncertainty. My prayers took flight on the wings of longing, soaring towards the silent stars above. Each whispered word carried a piece of my heart, a piece of my hope, a piece of my desperation. I prayed for her safety, for her happiness. I prayed for the warmth of her smile and the sound of her laughter to fill my world once more. I prayed for the touch of her hand, the comfort of her presence. I prayed for the day when our paths would cross again, when the labyrinth of uncertainty would give way to the open fields of reunion. But prayer, I realized, was more than just a plea. It was a beacon in the dark, a lighthouse guiding me through the stormy seas of despair. It was an affirmation of hope, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It was a promise to myself, a vow that I would not give up, that I would continue to seek, to search, to hope. For in the face of despair, hope becomes our greatest ally. It fuels our determination, it strengthens our resolve. It whispers to us in the silent hours of the night, telling us that we are not alone, that our journey is not in vain. As I opened my eyes, I felt a strange sense of calm envelop me. The shadows seemed less menacing, the silence less haunting. My heart, once racing with fear, now pulsed with a newfound strength. For I knew that every prayer, every plea, every hope was a step closer to the reunion I longed for. In the haunting stillness, my heart echoed with a single plea. Reunion. Could you endure the torment of the unknown? The uncertainty of reunion, I asked, my voice echoing in the eerie silence. The labyrinth of uncertainty had become a suffocating reality, and my heart ached with the weight of unanswered questions. Would I find her? Would she recognize me? The doubts were like thorns, pricking my heart with every beat. In the dimming twilight, my footsteps echoed in the silence, a haunting reminder of my solitude. The shadows grew longer, as if reaching out to swallow me whole. Yet I pressed on, driven by a desperate hope, a frantic quest for the one who completed my world. The torment of the unknown was a bitter pill to swallow. It was a monster, feeding on my fear, growing larger with every passing moment. It laughed at my futile attempts to break free, reveling in the chaos it had created. But I refused to let it win. I refused to succumb to the paralyzing fear. I chose to fight, to brave the storm, to endure the torment of the unknown. Every step was a battle, a struggle against the shadows of doubt and fear. Yet with each passing moment, I grew stronger. I was no longer a child lost in the labyrinth of uncertainty, but a warrior battling the torment of the unknown. The uncertainty of the reunion was a specter looming over me. It was a cruel game of chance, a coin toss between joy and despair. Yet I clung to the glimmer of hope, the possibility of reunion. It was a beacon in the darkness, guiding me through the labyrinth of uncertainty. In the haunting stillness, I prayed for a reunion. A prayer whispered into the silence, a desperate plea for a happy ending. But would my prayers reach her? Would she hear my voice amidst the chaos? The answer remained shrouded in the shadows of the unknown. As the twilight deepened, my heart whispered her name into the silence. Would she answer? Only time would tell.